Understanding logs is really important in A-level physics, and it's something that isn't covered at GCSE. So I'm going to show you in this video why it's so important to understand them. So this is a real exam question, and they've given you an equation that you won't necessarily see in your data book. So this has just been introduced in the exam, and in order to find the value of b, you need to understand how to use logs to the base 10. So there's some data here, there's a graph where you plot some data and then you can work out the gradient. And also what we can do is take logs of both sides in order to understand how we can actually calculate the value of b. So let's go back a step. What do we mean by a log? Well, first of all, if we think about a number, say for example we've got the number 100, that's the same as 10 times 10, which is the same as 10 squared. And of course we can do the same for 1,000, which is just equal to 10 cubed. We can also go the other way, so we can look at very small numbers. So say for example we had 0.1, that's going to be the same as 1 divided by 10, which is equal to 10 to the minus 1. Or we could have something like 0.01, which is the same as 1 divided by 100, which is 1 divided by 10 times 10, which is equal to 10 to the minus 2. So what we have here is a number, so we've got 1,000, and that can be represented as 10 to the 3. What we have here is the base, which in this case is 10, and here we have the exponent. So we can also say that 1,000 is equal to 10 to the 3. But what we can now do is we can take the log of both sides. And when I'm talking about the log, I'm just going to put log. Sometimes, like we saw actually in this exam question, they just shortened it to lg. And the assumption that we make for A-level physics is we're always going to be using log to the base 10. What we can say is that the log of 1,000 is equal to 3. And if we looked at this one over here, we could say that log, or lg, of 100 is equal to 2. There are only really a couple of rules that you need to look at when it comes to logs. So here we're going to use log to represent log to the base 10. If you've got log a times b, that's the same as log a plus log b. If you've got log a over b, that's the same as log a minus log b. And I think this is the most important one here. If you've got log of x to the n, that's the same as n log x. And all the time here we've got log to the base 10, and don't confuse it with a natural log, which is to the base e. So that's the one that we're going to cover in another video. So let's have a look at this exam question one more time. So we've got this equation here where we've got the luminosity and the mass of a star and how that's related to the luminosity and mass of our sun. Now if we look at this, that's effectively written in the form of A is equal to B to the C. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to find this exponent up here. So what we can do is we can take logs of both sides of that to say that log A is equal to log B to the C. And then thinking about the rules that we saw in the previous part of this video, we could also then say that log A is equal to C log B. And what we often find is that we've got some of this data plotted on a graph, and often this is in the form of y equals mx plus c. In this case, on this exam question, they had log L on the y-axis and log M on the x-axis, which meant the gradient of that line was equal to the b, the exponent that we're trying to find. And actually in my worked solution, what I did here was I took logs of both sides of this. I then identified which was the value related to the gradient, and then if you work out the gradient, you can find the value for b. And that's why logs are so important in A-level physics. It's often due to real data and the relationship between two quantities. And that's something we can investigate by taking log to the base 10 of both sides. And that means then the gradient might actually represent something that we're trying to find out. Now that was just a very brief introduction to logs, but I've got several worked examples that you can have a go at yourself now to see how these can be used in the A-level physics context. By the way, this is just one of many videos I've made covering all of the maths that you need to understand for A-level physics. It's part of a mini course which includes many more topic videos, multiple worked examples, and also a guide that you can download. You can find all of this over at alevelphysicsonline.com.